Okay, quick update for myself, Harvey Goldman. No cuts, no edits, no filters, and no hair. So as you can see at the moment, I am in a car park in a random industrial estate in Devon, taking one of my sanctioned breaks from my 9 to 5 grind, as I should. And the sun is shining and it's glorious. So today I wanted to chat a little bit about the UK job market. And I know I touched on this briefly before. I have been onto various sites this week, Reed, Monster Jobs, Indeed, all the usual suspects. And I see that it's broken. It's honestly broken. It's not just myself either. I am obviously in a 9 to 5, and it traditionally is always easier to get a job when you've already got a job. I mean, that's just a simple fact. However, in the current market, I think there are far too many barriers to people actually finding work, whether they've got jobs or not got jobs already. And these could be things like low wages. A lot of it is going to be increased competition. There are now hundreds of people vying for the same position. But most of it, I think, my own opinion, is that it's outdated hiring practices. And this is something that's become prevalent across all different industries in the last few years. And I don't know if it's become fashionable, if somebody put a post out on LinkedIn and companies are now reacting to it and trying to be all sort of edgy and trendy. I've no idea. But it seems to be a weird state of affairs. It always used to be that you do a CV, you make your CV convincing enough to get an interview. At the interview, you present yourself well in the best possible way. And you try and convey that the skill set that you possess is going to make you the right candidate for the job. And based on that, the company will either give you the job or they'll shortlist you and you might come back and do a round 2. It always used to be like that. Now it's not. And partly I blame the recruitment websites for adding things like filtration processes, which probably knock a lot of really good candidates for companies off at the first hurdle. So it might be that you go for a job on Indeed and they give you an aptitude test. Now the aptitude test may not really have any real world application to the job that you're going for. And it's safe to say that, in my own circumstances, 47 years old, I'm fine with maths, I'm fine with English. Those really shouldn't be considerations for a job interview that you give to a 47-year-old. I mean, if it's a school leaver, maybe that's a bit different. Obviously, you want to know that they can count. You want to know that they can use their native tongue, as it were. But it just seems a bit odd to give these types of tests to somebody that's been in employment and held management positions and so on. And I know part of it, they probably have to treat everybody in the same way. But it seems like a lot of the tests, they're almost like EPQs, which are the old school sort of psychological tests from the 80s and 90s. They used to use them in sales rooms to dictate what type of person you're selling to. So whether you're selling to a red personality that might appreciate selling with aggression, whether you're selling to a yellow personality that might require you to be a little bit more passive with how you deal with them, that kind of thing. And a lot of these tests are coming up more and more frequently. And to be fair, the types of jobs that I've gone for, that these tests have popped up for, it makes you wonder why. Why are they doing this? Is it because it's a trend and they're jumping on the bandwagon? Is it because it's now de rigueur across all companies? It's just something that they do and that's the way that it's gone. It seems a weird thing to do, because I, for one, think that perhaps people don't perform well in test situations. I never used to. I used to literally crumple under test conditions, and I used to excel in practical conditions. And I think people are so different across the board that I just think that companies are kind of missing a trick, and I think they're probably knocking a lot of relevant candidates off, probably highly suitable candidates, at the first hurdle by having excessive barriers to entry, shall we say. I don't know if it's anything that's going to change anytime soon. I am hopeful that in the current market, for myself at least, that I can continue to explore the use of AI to perhaps create a position for myself. I do intend to try and stick more towards remote working, freelancing. I see that as being where I'd like my time to be spent. And I am an advocate more than ever now of wanting to get out of trading my time for money. I'd rather trade my experience for money, because I believe I can A, charge a lot more, and B, end up with a lot more time left at the end of the working week for life. What's your take on this? I'm sure I'm not the only one that's experienced this recently. I'm sure I'm not the only one that is in work and looking to find more suitable work, better paid work, closer to home work. Obviously I am looking, as I said, to get out of 9 to 5, so this is going to be a bridge gap. It's not something that I'm going to want to do long term. I am aiming to make a full transition from 9 to 5 grind, PAYE, to basically just becoming a sole trader initially, perhaps for the first year, and then hopefully a limited company maybe after that. I guess from that point of view, I'll probably take on advice as to what's going to be more tax efficient and everything else. My gut says that while the income is small, probably a sole trader makes more sense. And then if and when I can grow the business, maybe end of year 1, end of year 2, something like that, at that point make the transition to being a limited company and set myself up for tax in a different way. But yeah, let me know what your views are in the comments. I'm really interested to find out how other people are finding the current climate in regards to finding work. I'm really interested also to find out if it's just me that's being ungrateful, already having a job and wanting another job, or if there are other people that are doing jobs that they don't necessarily enjoy, don't get any real satisfaction from, perhaps are underpaid, undervalued, overworked in, and are obviously looking for something else. Yeah, keen to find out. Anyway, I'm going to go and get myself some food and maybe blow £4 that I can't afford on a Starbucks coffee. And yeah, another video tomorrow. Goldman, peace out.